Good afternoon to you viewers. I hope you're fine wherever you are. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is George. We've been talking about Kalonzo Musyoka and the running mate for Raila Amolo Odinga for the last 1 month. Kalonzo Musyoka has been kicking, streaming, yelling and demanding and doing all those sorts of things. Should Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga forget about Kalonzo Musyoka and move on? Should they just move on? Are they doing themselves a favor by actually entertaining Kalonzo Musyoka? If you're watching this channel for the first time, kindly consider subscribing to it. If you like any one of our videos, we'll highly appreciate if you consider liking any one of those videos. I'll take you back a little bit. I'll take you back at least a month, maybe 2 months back. You remember, Kalonzo Musyoka had his outfit called One Kenya Alliance. And in One Kenya Alliance, they had everybody in there. They had Gideon Moi, he had Gideon Moi in there, he had Mudavadi in there, he had Jirongo in there, and they were actually at that time talking to Martha Karua. And Martha Karua eventually came in. Then Jirongo and Gideon Moi, Jirongo went mum, and Gideon Moi actually is there but silent. Then Mudavadi and Wetangula took off to Kenya Kwanza. And you remember still, Kalonzo Musyoka is the same guy, who has come in with all this a laundry list of demands, and he's a garden variety of problems. Mara, it's Mutula Kilonzo talking on the side. Mara, it's this other guy, Senator Wambua talking. The same Senator Wambua, who is in the list of people who are supposed to come up with the running mate for Azimio. You see, so this is where Kalonzo is coming from. And even just yesterday, Kalonzo Musyoka still said that if he is not the running mate, he gave some other threats in there. The question today is, should Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta move on? That is the question. Because anytime that these guys are going that route, they are losing. They are losing public opinion and all these kind of things. Should they just forget about Kalonzo Musyoka and move on? The real problem in Azimio is actually the fact that Azimio, when they started, they knew that the battleground is in Mount Kenya. That is where the war is being fought in this election. So it's automatic that the running mate for Azimio, and by the way, even the running mate for Kenya Kwanza, should come from Mount Kenya, the battleground. That is where the battleground is. So that is the genesis of the problem. Raila Amolo Odinga is already a presidential candidate. So Kalonzo Musyoka is not in direct competition with Raila Amolo Odinga. That I can assure you. Kalonzo Musyoka is actually competing in Azimio with Uhuru Kenyatta. And this we've stated, and it's a fact. Not because Uhuru Kenyatta wants to become the running mate, nor is it not because Uhuru Kenyatta is either has a preferred candidate. No. Uhuru Kenyatta is looking at the bigger picture of Azimio just as much as Raila Amolo Odinga is looking at that. And they are looking at the fact that if they take Kalonzo Musyoka, are they likely to win this election? And my answer is no. Without Mount Kenya, I can assure you, Azimio will have a hard time. Let me not say they will lose. They will have a very hard time, and it might end up being a photo finish. You see? So it's obvious that the running mate should come from Mount Kenya, because Mount Kenya is not only populous, it is also the battleground today. So what in that sentence doesn't Kalonzo Musyoka understand? What in that logic does it Kalonzo Musyoka and Wambua and the rest understand? If you talk about votes, who has the most votes? Is it Uhuru Kenyatta or is it Kalonzo Musyoka? Who has a national sway? Is it Uhuru Kenyatta or is it Kalonzo Musyoka? And in any case, why is Kalonzo Musyoka demanding this? It's like life and death to him. You know, how is that government, given the experience that we've had with Jubilee, how will it be between Raila Amolo Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka in government with this kind of demands? I think there reaches a time when people really have to look at things and move on. And our advice would be to Raila Amolo Odinga and to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to consider just moving on and forgetting about this whole Kalonzo business. Well, if Kalonzo wants to join, he can join as a matter of principle, but it shouldn't be like holding a gun to Raila's head and Uhuru's head so that he becomes a running mate or nothing. If he is really thinking that it's a matter of principle that he's joining Azimio or supporting Azimio, then he should actually support Azimio irrespective. Let these people, or let Raila Amolo Odinga have a free hand, a real free hand in nominating somebody for that position. It shouldn't be life and death. If Kalonzo Musyoka does not want to support Raila Amolo Odinga, so Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta should go back to where they were. In fact, they were winning. The governor of Machakos, Dr. Mutua, Mama Ngilu, Professor Kibudha Kibwana, camp in Eastern Province. Just the same way Ruto has camped in Mount Kenya. Without Kalonzo Musyoka, camp in Eastern Province, go ahead with your nomination of your running mate the way you had planned it, and move on. This thing is not healthy at all, and I don't think that you want to carry those problems that Kalonzo Musyoka has brought into Azimio into now the Azimio government when the Azimio government is formed. Should Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta forget about Kalonzo Musyoka? Should they move on? Well, today in our side Mosho, I really wish to talk about something very little, is regarding independent candidates. The High Court, I understand that the High Court has kicked out a petition by independent candidates to form a coalition. Well, the principle of going independent is basically the balance, to try and get a balance between parties and independents. Independents are so important. In the United States of America, independents, like Bernie, help a lot in terms of making the policies of mainstream parties better. So independents can't go to court and want to form a coalition. They want to get out of this headache of party headache and party distractions. As one of my favorite candidates for gubernatorial position normally talks about, we need to look at independence as a balance, as something that will help our democracy and grow our country. Let us deal with the coalitions, or rather, the devil we know. Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. Independence help us balance that equation. Should Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta forget about Kalonzo Musyoka and move on? Thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is George.